Namaste, my friends. Welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be going over the underactive throat chakra, which means you do not have enough energy flow to your throat chakra. Damn it, right? I hate when that happens. You know, I kind of go back and forth, to be honest with you, depending on what I eat, depending on different choices I make at different times or whatever, right? So it's a constant kind of check yourself thing. So I'm just going to read off a list of some things, right? So stuttering, you know, any speech impairments, speech impediments, right? When we think about the energy flow of this chakra, a lot of the time it's coming from the back and being projected out of the front. And so if you have an issue with speaking, if you have an issue with projecting that energy out, you know, stuttering, any kind of speech impediment, that is underactive, right? So joint pains or joint soreness, like the overactive, you will have joint pains or soreness if there's kind of an energy blockage there, and there's kind of like a lack of energy flow, I guess. The frog stuck in your throat or having a knot in your throat, definitely a big symptom. Let's see, hypothyroidism. You know, hyper is overactive, hypo is underactive, right? So any kind of like swollen lymph glands, any kind of swollen tonsils, wisdom teeth, stuff like that, kind of also with the overactive. Something that's not part of the overactive, though, usually laryngitis. If you have laryngitis, that's usually always an underactive, not overactive. Mononucleosis, if you've ever had mono, that is definitely a symptom of an underactive throat chakra. And as I've mentioned in my previous videos, energetic blockages can develop two ways. One, they can develop in the physical body first. So say you get in an accident to where your hearing is impaired. This will affect you physically, and then it'll eventually start to trickle out into the energetic and emotional and, you know, mental aspects of your life. Or the second way that energetic blockages can develop is that you mentally are having some things going on, and because the things that we think, our cells follow suit. You know, I'll do a whole video on the placebo effect and stuff like that, reasons why our mind is a little bit more in control than we think. Yeah, it can be a whole energetic process. Also want to mention about schizophrenia, because I have a lot of people saying, well, you know, schizophrenia is a blockage of the throat chakra. Yes, it is, but it is definitely always in overactive. It is not here for underactive, you guys. We're talking about an overflow of energy to the ear chakras. Essentially, we have smaller kind of energy centers in our ears that help our eardrums function and whatnot. And so when you're not having enough energy flow to those ear chakras, to your ears, all the physical cells and whatnot, you're not going to be clairaudient. You're not going to be hearing all the schizophrenic stuff because you don't have enough energy flow. It's not going to flow in. That energy is not going to flow in. Those frequencies are not going to flow in because you have blockages, right? I just wanted to mention that. I just wanted to clarify that because I see people get confused about that a lot. If you have a blockage to this energy center, you are most likely always going to be feeling, you're always going to be stuck feeling misunderstood. You're always going to be stuck feeling misheard because you just can't present your point in a way that gets it across to people, right? People are not going to really understand your key points. People are not going to really understand your perspective because they don't know how to think about it. They don't know what to think about it because it's all in your presentation of yourself. You're presenting yourself in a certain way through your expressive communication. And when that's off, right? Like say you have awkward body language. This is also another big sign of an underactive throat chakra, is having awkward body language, right? Because you are not able to fully express yourself in that authentic way, you are closed off. Think about the body language of somebody who is self-conscious or feeling timid or feels like they can't express themselves. They're going to be closed off like this, right? At the time, there's extreme shyness. There's, you know, a level of being pretty timid and closed off and reserved, right? Somebody who's extremely shy definitely is an underactive. Somebody who has an underactive throat chakra is going to be flaky, right? They're going to be flaky. They're not going to do what they say. They may not even have like ill intentions. They may just be somebody who's like, okay, I'll be there right at 10 o'clock. But then they didn't show up at 10 o'clock, you know, and that's not like malicious. That's just kind of, you have a blockage to aligning what you say with what you do, right? Somebody who has a balanced throat chakra, your actions and your words are going to add up. And it's because it's authentic, right? You are authentically showing up for people. You are authentically expressing yourself in that way, right? So any social anxiety or any kind of like fear of public speaking, that is also a big one, fear of public speaking. Underactives will also find it extremely hard to ask for help when they need it, right? They're not going to throw themselves out there. They're not going to, they're a little bit scared of rejection, whatever happened to them that made them feel closed off, like their true authenticity could not be expressed or whatever. So for underactives, the main theme, the main thing you need to work on, basically, the main thing you need to ask yourself is, what made me feel invalidated? What made me feel like nothing that I said matters? Like, what made me feel, what and who, what situation, people, places, things made me feel as though the things that I expressed out into the world were not like worthy. Like, we're not worthy of getting seen. We're not worthy of appreciation. We're not worthy of love, right? Like, what makes you think that your expressions are not worthy of love and appreciation? Like, what is it? Really deep dive on that. So although our ego can be very pesky, it is actually just doing its job and trying to protect us and keep us from getting into like other crazy situations that make us feel like that, right? So social anxiety, that's why social anxiety is even a thing, you guys, because subconsciously or consciously at one point in time you were in a social situation and you want to go throw yourself out there, but something made you shut that down and feel closed off and not want to ever share that again, or whatever the case may be. Or you know, you may not even remember an experience like that, but then for some reason every time, you know, there's like a social gathering or something going on, you get a wave of anxiety and you're like, God, like, why do I have social anxiety? Like, what is this? You know, it could definitely just be the fact that your ego and your emotional guidance system, your emotional alert system is trying to alert you, no, do not go into this situation, because there was a time before that, the last time that you went into this situation, and you came out feeling terrible. So we don't want to feel terrible again. F that. Don't go over there. Don't do that. Don't risk it, right? You can see the problem in itself. You can't live life based on the past, right? It's helpful to go through experiences and observe things and just kind of utilize what you've, you know, learned in the past as things come up and arise, right? But if you don't need it, you don't need it. Don't go into the situation expecting it to be, you know, horrible, right? Because then maybe it will go horrible. Or either that, you're going to prevent yourself from even going to that situation. You could miss out on some awesome opportunities. You could miss out on meeting, you know, the person you want to spend the rest of your life with, like the most awesome person ever. You could miss out on different opportunities, job opportunities, career opportunities, right? Because your ego is telling you and trying to alert you and trying to keep you safe in the little box. But that's not ideal for growth and expansion and your life. So moving into the next thing with underactives, right, is they may have a fear of basically selling or sharing anything that they've made personally. So yeah, their personal creations. You may have a fear of starting your business if it's something you're passionate about, something you personally have thrown your heart into. Because of that, you may feel like you don't want to share with other people out of that fear of rejection. Another trait of an underactive throat chakra is completely reinventing yourself with each and every relationship or friendship that you have, right? Because your personality is just, you don't know how to live in your true authenticity. You don't know how to go for what you want or what you like. You don't even know what you like or what you want, right? So you're just kind of, oh, okay, I like that. Okay, I like that. You're molding to other people's personality because that is flexible for you. And you think that by molding to what other people like, you will get that validation of, yes, you're doing things right. Yes, that is the right thing to like. Like you want validation for everything essentially. And this sucks. I've been in this mentality. The very last one I'm going to mention is feeling a sense of shame or guilt for keeping secrets or keeping lies, right? Maybe from a young age, your parents were always like, oh, like having you keep secrets or whatever. That could also be stemming, like if you have a problem telling the truth. Think about your childhood, right? A lot of the time, if you have a hard time telling the truth, take a look at the role models that you had in your life and what their morals were like, right? And then if you decide that their morals are a little sketchy or not really in alignment with what you would like to believe and you just didn't really notice at the time because you were a child and then you kind of took things on subconsciously. But guess what? Now you're aware of them. Now you're aware of unconscious like unconscious patterns in your head, right? Unconscious habit patterns. So what you can do now that there's awareness, you can change your habits. You can change your thoughts. You can actively, proactively take steps to redirect things, right? And in the very next video, we're going to be talking exactly about that. So stay tuned, talk about how to balance the energy flow to the center, how to get more energy pumped through that center, get you back out in the world, back on your feet, back social with all your friends, right? So I hope you all have an amazing week. I can't talk right now. I guess my throat chakra is a little off. I hope you all have an amazing day. Namaste.